Alright, so in this video we're going to create the actual user navigation bar. So let's get straight into the code. But before we do that, let's make sure to run npm run dev in the terminal. And let's open another terminal instance. Let's open a PocketBase, cd PocketBase, and then we run /PocketBase serve. Once that's done, just close these terminals, and in the components folder, create a new file called usernavbar.svelte. In here, let's create a module script. So context is equal module and lang ts. We're going to type component events. We're going to do close is equal to null. And then we're going to create a script with the lang set to ts. So we're going to create a dispatcher, an event dispatcher. So create event dispatcher with the type of component events. And then we're going to export let auth model is equal to noise of type user. Then we're going to let editing profile is equal to false. And below we're going to create a nav conditional class of hide. So class hide is equal to the page store dot URL dot path name. And also we're going to create a transition on this component. So transition fly x is equal to -100% and duration 200 milliseconds, and the opacity will be 0.5. Let's import the fly transition. So then let's create a header inside this nav. And this header will contain an h1, a button that also contains a div that has icon. So in the header, let's create account information h1. Make sure this is a div. And inside of here, let's add the icon, the iOS, close circle. Right here, let's copy this. And let's import it like so. So below the header, let's create a section with the class of user nav container and as if else. We're going to do editing profile. So if we are editing the profile, we're going to do a form with the action set to update user information. We're going to do the method post class profile form. We're going to do enc type of multi-part form data because we're going to send images and we need to mark this as multi-part. So we're going to use enhance, and then we're going to return a function that calls this other function that returns the editing profile is equal to false. So now in the form, let's create a div, the input container class that contains a span and also an input with the name of name, and inside the span, let's say this is home. No, this is name, and the value is going to be auth model dot name. So in here, let's copy this down one more time, and this is going to be the profile image, and this is going to be type of file, name photo, except, and we're just going to say image slash JPG, image slash PNG, and image slash SVG, and then image slash WebP. So then below this, let's create a button with type of submit with a class of update profile. And it's gonna have update profile. And below this, we're gonna create a cancel button. So button cancel. No, wait. Let's do on click. And we're gonna set the editing profile to false. Also, let's make sure to add the GIF right here, image/GIF. This button will have the class of close user nav. And we'll also say on click. We're going to dispatch event close. And we're also going to say that the path name does not equal to slash. The else block, the personal information div that contains an image. Then we're going to create a if block. We're going to do auth model.photo, so we're going to check that the user actually has a photo. And auth model.photo.length is greater than 0. And that the PB store is not null. We're going to create an image with the source set to $PB .files.get URL auth model.photo auth model.name for the alt. So you can see that we get the user's image, and if the user's image does not exist on the user, we're just going to return fa user circle. So let's import it right now. So now below the image class, let's create two spans, one with the class of name and one with the class of email. So it's going to be auth model.name, and this is going to be auth model.email. So now below the personal information div, let's create another div with the class of account actions. Be button and then on click. We're going to set the editing profile to true. So it's going to say edit profile. Now we're going to create a form with the action set to /sign out with the method of post. Inside here, we're just going to create a submit button with the class of log out. And it's just going to say log out. Now you can see that we have a logout form. Also, we have the personal information showing, including the image and the actual information for the user. And if we're going to edit the profile, we have a form to allow them to edit their name or their profile image. So now, let's go over to GitHub. It's in the link in the description. Open up the source folder, the lib folder, the components, go to user navbar.svelte. Let's get this style. So now, once you pasted the styles, we can close this file. And in the conversations folder inside the app, we create a new file called plus page.server.ts. We can do export const actions. We're going to create an update user information. There's going to be an asynchronous function that takes in the requests and the locales. So then we're going to access the auth model from the PocketBase store that we get. So locales.pocketbase.authStore.model. So now if the auth model is equal to null or it is not a valid user, we just throw redirect with the code of 303 to /sign up. So let's create a try catch block. we're gonna access the form data, await request dot form data. So const name is equal to form data dot get name. So we're gonna say const photo is equal to form data dot get photo. So you can see that these correlate with the options right here. If we open up the form right here, we have a name input and also a photo input, and these correlate specifically with that. So now let's validate the input. So now once you validated the input, we're gonna create a update object. Update obj is of type record, string, and any. So then we're just gonna include the name, and if photo dot size dot is greater than 0, update obj dot photo is equal to photo. So now we'll await locales dot pocket base collection users dot update auth model dot id with the update object. We're just gonna catch if there's an error, say console dot error. Now in the catch block, we check if the error is an instance of error. We'll just return the error is an error dot message, and if not, we just return error unknown error occurred when updating profile. So by default, outside of the try catch block, we'll just throw redirect 03 to just the slash page. So now let's open up the file that we edited in the previous video, the plus layout.svelte. On top of the main, let's just do an if block, show user nav bar, and we just say user nav bar. We also include the auth model is equal to $, user store, or the data.auth model. We're gonna say on close, show user nav bar is equal to false. So now that's it. Let's go over to the dev server and let's see how it looks. All right. So the reason that it's not uploading is because if we go over to the PocketBase and we go to the settings, edit collection, you can see that the photo is named avatar and not photo. So let's just rename this to photo, and this should be fixed. Right here, let's edit profile, update profile. You see, it works. So now you can see we log out, and let's log in back to my account. You see, we have our image again. We have the same profile. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video served you value. Like, subscribe, and comment.